the next question is, what is the best way I can reduce my stress quickly?
Right. Yeah. So exactly. While you're, while you're learning all these cognitive techniques, and while you're building yourself a healthy stress resilient lifestyle, you still have to know what to do if you are stuck in traffic and you're late for work, or you're about to have a conversation with someone that you've been dreading, and all of these acute stressful situations that can build up if we don't manage them well. We need to know how to stay in that moment and deal with it. So in mind-body medicine and in the stress psychology world, there's several techniques that work right away. And one of them, you hear this all the time, take a deep breath. And I never say that to people, because oftentimes when a person's really stressed and you tell them to take a deep breath, they kind of gasp. They go, ah, and they expect to be relaxed. The reason that breathing is a good stress technique is your nervous system shifts from excitement to relaxation with every breath. And the part of the breath that shifts you into relaxation mode is breathing out, or the exhale. And it's because a specific nerve called the vagus nerve that runs through your chest up to your brain, when that gets stimulated, it releases serotonin and relaxes your brain. So with every breath, you have the potential to relax. And this is, of course, the basis of how the stress eraser works and how heart rate variability training works as a stress management technique. So just a simple way to access that is to double the amount of time that you spend breathing out for 4 or 5 breaths. So you just breathe in, count to 4, breathe out, count to 8. And, if you haven't practiced this, you just do it at a regular rate. You don't try to make it a really long, slow breath, because that's hard at first. Eventually, you'd like it to be slower. But just taking that extra bit of time breathing out lowers your heart rate and your blood pressure and gives you a momentary break from the buildup of the stress. It just stops it from building. So I always teach that to people first. Another one, if you recognize in yourself muscle tension as a response to a stressor, and most of us do, and the most common places are in the jaw, in the shoulders, where you find your shoulders are up, like around your ears, or sometimes even in the belly. What I teach people how to do is take a hand, like if it's your shoulder, put it on your shoulder, think about letting that relax, and then take a few breaths. And on the inhale, just say to yourself, easy. And on the out breath, say shoulder. And just do that 4 or 5 times. And you're immediately shifting your attention to that physiological response, and again, stopping it, so that then you can think clearly and do what you need to do. Some people, they get really pent up inside. They just feel like they need to move or they need to punch something. And for those people, the more physically oriented people, I recommend what we call at the Center for Mind-Body Medicine, we teach everybody shaking, where you basically just stand in one place and shake everything from your head to your toes for about a minute or two until it just all feels loosened up and the tension's released. And it's amazing. We've had all kinds of people doing it in our trainings, and it's very effective. Laughing is another great one, and it might seem counterintuitive, but again, it does all that good stuff. Increases serotonin in the brain, increases endorphins. And it's really interesting. In my classes that I teach at Portland State University, I just have the students, I just say, okay, we're all going to laugh now. And they look at me like I'm crazy, but before you know it, the whole room is laughing, and everyone feels better. If you're stuck at a desk, you know how your friends keep sending you dumb cartoons and stuff, as long as they're not, offensive or will get you in trouble, what I do is keep a folder, and I just throw them in the folder, and when I need to laugh, I just go in there and I start looking at funny stuff, and that helps. And then there's other techniques that if you practice them for a while, you can then use them in the moment, like guided imagery, and another one that we call autogenic training, where it's sort of a self-hypnosis technique. And if you practice that every day for 2 or 3 weeks, then you can start saying to yourself, I am at peace, and your body has been trained to react to that.